Hello, cooking enthusiasts. Hopefully, there are still a few of you left. It has been a long time since I uploaded a video, and usually I do some sort of big update and recap, but I decided to skip all of that. Instead, I will answer any questions you have in the comments, and I'm sure other stuff will come up as we progress. But let's just get right into the cooking. The footage you see is my dad taking some pork chops out of the new Anova steam oven. This is essentially a consumer version of a restaurant-grade CVAP oven, and among many things, the precision temperature control and the steam injection allows you to do stuff to a sous vide circulator. So I cooked these pork chops at 58 degrees Celsius, and I'm counting on them going up a few degrees in the frying pan afterward. But the main experiment for these pork chops is the marinade on the surface. It is a koji-based marinade called Amazake. Koji is the fungus used most notably for miso, sake, and soy sauce, but it has a number of other applications, and it's something I've worked with a lot in the past. This contemporary amazake is essentially a cooked porridge made from koji fermented grains, in this case organic purple barley. The primary benefit of the koji is the enzymes it creates, both enzymes to break down starches into sugars and proteins into amino acids. So in the marinade, there are inherent sugars from the barley, and there are also still enzymes breaking down the protein within the surface of the pork chop itself. This added sugar and protein breakdown on the surface develops flavor, but it also greatly enhances browning, which is sort of the main focus of this experiment. Unfortunately, there are a lot of variables going on because this was also a dry-aged pork chop from a previous experiment, but I still think the Amazake made a difference. My idea basically is that if browning can be enhanced enough, you could sear a piece of meat like this entirely with butter. Normally, when searing something like a piece of steak or a pork chop, you start with a neutral oil and really high heat, and then, if you want, you lower the temperature and do butter basting with aromatics. My hope is that eventually, with the Amazake, you can do entirely butter basting, but still develop a good crust. With this pork chop, the first side developed a really nice crust in about a minute and 40 seconds. Now again, the dry aging was also contributing to that. My hope is that for something like a piece of steak, the Amazake will work also with a relatively fresh piece. But another thing I'm hopeful about is that the koji fermentation that created this marinade wasn't the best, so I think an even stronger marinade is possible. Again, by no means was this first execution perfect. I'm still getting used to managing the temperatures and nervous about burning the butter, but as you can see, it became beautifully golden brown by the end of it and not at all burnt, which is really nice. In my next attempt, I plan to use some type of steak, and I'll be a little more aggressive with the temperature management. There was also still some curling in the pork chop, despite a few relief cuts we made in the meat. Ultimately, though, I thought it was a pretty good first attempt and proof of principle of the concept, using the koji marinade to allow for lower temperature searing entirely with butter. For my next attempt, again, I will probably use steak and hopefully a stronger koji marinade. This was certainly a bit of a complex video, so please feel free to ask any questions. Cooking in the ANOVA oven, making koji, working with koji, or any other questions you have. Please also consider sharing this video if you liked it, and also follow me on social media. I am hoping to upload videos whenever I can, as often as I can, but I have been posting on other platforms very regularly, so please do follow if you want to keep up. Otherwise, thank you for watching.